Hey everyone, welcome back to Team Wiz Pro with Global Gaming. Got a new video this week. Today we're going to be talking about some updates to the official rules. We're going to have a team featured by Josh Teppel, what he likes to call his troll team or No Child Left Behind. Some information about the PDC, the Pro Dice Circuit. It's been started up by some of the members of the community. Um, Also going to recap a little bit about how the Halloween mask team that I made went. Spoiler alert, didn't go too well, but we'll get more into that later. First, let's get into those rulings updates, Josh.
All right, one of the rulings that we have that was pretty interesting was the new lanterns. You're able to run, for instance, uh, Black Lantern Batman along with any other Batman, and same with the Superman, the Aquaman, the Wonder Woman. You're able to run those, and then got a little bit interesting. I mean, if you wanted to, I guess you could run the Atom and Atom together. And I'm sure in the future there'll be more things that you can do that'll be fun like that.
You can run Atom, the Atom, Atomica, throw in Ant-Man, Giant Man, Wasp.
Yeah. Uh,
Chances of victory are tiny.
yes. Also, Mira was ruled to be per instance, so each attacking die for the ring combo, if you're using Paladin, you would have to pay a shield for each one of the abilities. It doesn't just cover it all. Uh, Also, to counter Mira, the Zombie Magneto was also ruled that you can play the Zombie Magneto, and it's going to cover Mira. It's going to stop her effect from reducing damage.
Pretty much like we thought.
Yeah.
And Zombie Magneto, was it anybody that has the is under, like, if you have Ring, it'll also stop. They also officially announced that it'll stop any 3 cost or lower from Ring, using Ring of the Lantern Ring, because that does officially give the character the ability. So you can use the Paladin Global, you can use Magneto to stop the cheap ones again. So yeah, Magneto might be seeing some more play as an answer to that stuff.
One ruling that I'm not really too fond of, and we kind of find out about it this week, is for the judges. They're supposed to default to the weaker ruling. I mean, this kind of made me a little upset because what we found out was how do you determine what the weaker ruling is? We ran into a little situation with EJ over here and his Wonder Woman or Wonder Girl, sorry.
No. Okay, so what happened was when I was playing the team I mentioned earlier, I had out Raven, and my opponent had the Wonder Girl common Cassie Sands Mark that redirects, and he put the Ring of Magnetism action attraction on it. So pretty much anything I did, I'd have to target her, and she could redirect back to me. However, I had out the Raven rare Azarath Mithril Zinthos that I keep talking about that prevents them from targeting my masks and titans. So what I did was at one point, well, it didn't actually come up, but we were talking about it after the game. Was so if I played Psylocke, the rare Quanon, and paid the 2 masks when fielded to try to KO, I'd automatically have to target Cassie first. Now, the way Cassie's ability reads that my opponent now has the option of redirecting effect targeting her. You may choose an opponent's character for the new target. However, Raven is preventing my stuff from being targeted. So we are having a bit of an issue trying to figure that out. I guess what most people are coming down to is that you will be able to change the target, but since they're illegal targets, then the effect will essentially fizzle. I kind of argued against that because it seems like since you can't target, in that case, you wouldn't be able to target my stuff to begin with, then Wonder Girl would just have to eat the effect. But
Yeah.
I guess for now, and the issue has come up with Wonder Girl Ring a lot, where if she tries to go to a different illegal target, for whatever reason the new target is legal, will it just fizzle, or will Cassie even be able to redirect it to begin with?
And she doesn't really state that she's a redirect
Yeah.
effect like most redirect cards.
The word redirect itself isn't used, which leads me to confusion because the whole issue with Jocasta when that happened, and I'm starting to get PTSD flashbacks to that issue all over again. So,
and we know redirecting, if you actually redirect and nothing, and you can target something else and it would fizzle, but she doesn't specifically say that she would redirect like most redirects do.
which the issue kind of brings me to my when it comes to judges ruling on the weaker. So that leads to the debate. Well,
Who's it weaker for?
yeah, what do you define as weaker? You know, is it weaker for the ability to just fizzle and nothing basically happens, but Cassie stays out there, or is it weaker for the ability for Wonder Girl to have to eat the ability? It's something judges will definitely have to take care. And for any judge or anybody running an event watching this, I definitely urge you, any event you run, be it locals or a larger event, please, for any controversial cards or rulings, make it known as far in advance as possible, but at the very least before the event starts. Make it known how those rules and effects will be applied to that day.
Yeah, just like in Yu-Gi-Oh, whenever I'd go to nationals, if there was a ruling question, it would be brought up before the nationals even began, and there would be a public announcement over the intercom that stated the ruling. So if they could do something like that, that would be really good because going in, they know what people are going to ask most of the time because people's already asked them. So they should be able to come up with a ruling and be able to announce it before that issue comes up. And so it's not like it on the spot, let me figure this out.
And I would definitely recommend all players to, before going into especially a larger event with a team or something, that you think there's even a remote chance that there could be a rules call on something you're trying to do. Definitely get it checked out, ideally by as many people as can. But if you know who the judge is going to be and you're able to get a hold of them, definitely check with them in advance to make sure how it's ruled. Get that clarified because, I mean, you know, you don't want a situation. You don't want a situation where you bring a team and it's awesome, but then like round one they rule it doesn't work the way you think it does, and you're screwed the whole event. Or you don't want to get to like the top four, and finally the judge says something, and well, you screwed over the people that you beat, and then now you're screwed getting farther because now the combo doesn't work halfway through the event. Just to avoid any messes, I like this community. It's a great community. I have no doubt people are out, or I don't think people are out there trying to screw one another over as much as other games, but definitely, clarify all this ahead of time. And that's one thing I do like about the new ruling, where at least WizKids is letting players know how judges, or they're giving judges the lead on how to look at these things, and letting players know what they're informing judges. That way, players can at least go, if they can't confirm anything, they can at least go, okay, if this situation comes up, the judges will most likely rule for the weaker thing to resolve. So you can know in advance, at least now, that you don't want to rely on something. If you'll know ahead of time that they're most likely going to go for maybe something not working. So you're better off going with something confirmed. And if you experiment, or if you got a combo that's not really been clarified yet, definitely ask as many people. I know on the Dice Masters discussion Facebook group, I know Josh is on there all the time answering questions. Scott Hill, Timo, there's a bunch of people on there answering questions all the time.
Yeah. Speaking of screwing over players, I'd like to go into my team that I came up with called No Child Left Behind. Now, with the War of Light rulebook and everything, it's been stated that whenever there's both players reach 0 life points, it's a tie game. So
I kind of thought that was a rule for a while now. Anyway.
Well, yes, it was switched over in D&D. But the thing is I built a team that's going to ensure that I get a tie, which I found out it's kind of hard to actually pull the tie off and not win. I don't want to win. I just want to tie the game. But I keep winning with it and not tying. But it's meant to tie. So
this self-destruct button all over again.
Yeah, I love self-destruction button in Yu-Gi-Oh! It was awesome. But anyway, the card that's
the reason it's banned.
The card that's going to get us to get the tie is the Vicious Struggle. Now, it says it's a 3 cost until your next turn. Deal your opponent 1 damage for each damage you take that doesn't come from vicious struggle. So every damage you're taking, they're taking. Now, the thing is, how are we going to be able to pull this off consistently every turn? So I'm running the rare Baron Zemo, the Thunderbolt. He's a 4 cost bolt villain.
Thunderbolt is a bolt.
Each time you use an action die, you may pay 1 to put it into your prep area instead of your used pile. So that's what's going to ensure us that we're able to use our vicious struggle every turn. Now, then you're wondering, well, how am I going to get my opponent to attack me if they're knowing they're going to take damage? Well, obviously, there's many answers, and you could run Mr. Fantastic, but I don't really prefer Mr. Fantastic because it can be pretty bad if somebody's running Magneto, because that completely just gets rid of your being able to use Mr. Fantastic unless you run the 5 cost.
The rare 5 cost.
Which, no, now.
You could do it. But.
You could do it, but I want to save my masks. I'd rather not spend my masks at all. So I'm running Phoenix, Reed, and Red, whatever. I don't know.
I'm gonna assume since you were just talking about Mr. Fantastic, you had Reed on mine.
It's a 7 cost bolt. It's the uncommon. When Phoenix is engaged, you may spend 2 lightning bolts to deal 4 damage to target character or opponent. We're not going to be using it for that. We're going to be using it for the global, which is pay a bolt, target character must attack. So that's how we're going to get the damage going in.
Quick question. So does her ability, her actual card ability, does that work if you put Ring of Magnetism on her?
Yeah. Yep. She would.
Because since she's got a ring on her, she's engaged.
Yeah. Goodness.
I'm done for now.
That's bad.
I'm gonna shut up now.
Oh, that's bad. So no, the problem that might run into is, well, we'll go with this first. We're gonna go with the we're gonna use the Iceman Too Cool for Words to get our bolts, to be able to use Phoenix to force a whole bunch more to attack. We're gonna use it for the global, which is pay a bolt to spend any number of your sidekick dice to their bolt side. If active, move them to your reserve pool. So we're gonna be using that to be able to get to our bolts. Now, one thing you might find that you run into a bit of a problem with is keeping Baron Zemo on the field, because they try to make Baron Zemo attack with your Phoenix's global ability. So since we have all these bolts, running the Blue Eyes White Dragon just to knock him out. So next turn I'm gonna be able to roll him and get him back again. Which his Blue Eyes ability, it's the rare monstrous dragon. It's pay a bolt and knock out one of your monsters to reduce the cost of your next die you buy by 2 energy. I'll use the Blue Eyes once just to get the Baron Zemo. That's about it. Otherwise, it's just to knock out Baron Zemo, so if they force him to attack. So we're going to be using also the Red Dragon. You can run any of the versions of it. It doesn't really matter. Going to be using it for the global. They all have the global. Which is once per turn, pay a bolt. When you purchase your next action die this turn, it costs 2 less to a minimum of 1, and you deal 1 damage to your opponent. So we're going to use that to buy our Vicious Struggle, and also we'll use it to buy our big entrance here. And I'm sure most of you will know what it does, but it's a 3 cost. When purchased, you may add this die to your dice bag. When used, dice purchased this turn cost 1 less than their printed cost to a minimum of 1. You may put directly into your dice bag instead of a use pile. So I basically just use this to buy up Vicious Struggle and Baron Zemo in the same turn, so I get them both out.
So real quick, so you got the uncommon Red Dragon, which is pretty good if you actually do field it for getting the breath weapon off for free, basically.
Yeah.
But if somebody had the super rare Red Dragon and for whatever reason had that out, how do you think that would interact with Vicious Struggle and Big Entrance?
They wouldn't double. Well, Big Entrance specifically says they wouldn't, and
right. Okay.
And Vicious Struggle, they only take damage that you take.
Right.
So it wouldn't matter if it was doubled up.
They wouldn't take double damage.
No.
All right. So the uncommon is probably the best bet then.
Yeah. Also,
just show off the super rare.
To be able to hopefully guarantee my Vicious Struggle. I'm running the Baron Zemo, so I can get my Vicious Struggle. But to be able to roll the Vicious Struggle every turn, I don't really care too much about the energy that I have. I don't care too much about having a whole bunch of ramp, because really I'm just going to go try to force them to attack me every turn. That's it. So I'm running the Parallax, just for the global, to be able to hopefully roll our vicious struggle and get it to a active phase. And so the global on it is pay 1, roll any number of dice before your attack step. So just keep re-rolling your vicious struggle until it hits a face, and throw it out there. Just keep doing that every turn, force them to attack. Also run the Professor X, which is pay a mask, move 2 sidekicks over. And then the last card I just had, and it didn't really matter. I mean, you could probably, for this last card, you'd probably put Shield Agents in the rare, but I just threw a Ghost Rider in there. I mean, I just put it in there just in case, just for some extra bolts maybe. Now another thing is that you could add into this is instead of maybe instead of big entrance, you could throw in an invulnerability, so you can actually use your bolts to pump up their attacks to make it go a little bit faster. But yeah, like I said, this team is not meant to actually win, but for some reason it keeps winning, and I don't want that to happen. I want it to just be a tie, and just to troll people. So yeah, that's all I have for that team.
But
And
you're onto something if somebody want to tweak it and make it an actual
oh
competitive
yeah,
team.
yeah. If you want to tweak it and make it a competitive team, I mean, it can work. Yeah, I mean, it's not my way is not supposed to, but it does.
When you're trying to play like you actually had a chance to win and were trying to tie.
Yeah, somebody wouldn't let me tie. Instead, they went out of their way to make me win. And all right, next thing we want to talk about is the PDC.
Actually, hold on before we go on.
Sorry.
Go over my team that I did real quick.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can get a hold of the footage we recorded for it while we were up at our game store last Thursday. So I was working on a Halloween themed mask team. Didn't work out as well as I intended. I had big entrance, the Red Dragon to reduce it. Actually, no, I don't think I had the Red Dragon on there, but pretty much everyone else was running it. Saw a lot of big entrants and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Guy Gardner, Batman, a lot of the new stuff. But so what I was doing is like I would do that, buy up Psylocke, Quinnan. My first turn buy would be like, ideally it'd be like big entrance, then turn 2 buy Raven, and turn 3 get out Raven, roll the big entrance, buy a bunch of Psylocks or Morphing Jars. I had Morphing Jar on there, and then ideally I get all those out, buy the rare Lantern Ring, attack when I had a bunch of masks in my field for Professor X or Distraction, distract my stuff back so it didn't get KO'd or to the used, and just burn them down. It did not work out. I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know if it's just bad rolls, but it's so bad. You'll see this if I get the footage. My first opponent was running Kilowog, the one that where your fist characters attack, they can't be blocked by your opponent's mask characters.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't going to be a good night.
No.
I don't think I should stick to mono energy teams unless they're made bolts in the long run. Because if you roll everything but what you're trying to get, it doesn't work out too well. Even with Parallax, I had Parallax on there because he's a mask and he's the source of terror. The slot machine wasn't working for me either. So definitely going back to the drawing board. Hope to have something to bring you guys next time. That's going to be competitive.
All right, going on to the PDC. If you haven't heard, it's a Pro Dice Circuit. They're going to be doing store championships where you can order a kit. So just Google Pro Dice Circuit and then you should find their website. It's talk to your store. You got to hurry up because it's coming up and they're about on their deadline to where you can order it. It's $35. So get that information in. They're also going to be doing a state tournament. So after your store's tournament, whoever the champion is, they're going to also do a state tournament where everybody comes together. And I think it's great for the community. Actually have consistency to larger tournaments. And they've got some pretty cool prizes, custom dice, custom mat. And yeah, $35. Just talk to your store, hurry up, get it in because it's about sign-up's about over. Now we're going to go on to some new sets coming out. I mean, we have the D&D Under Siege set coming out.
Figuring Under Siege.
Yep, and I believe that's in February. I believe it was
March.
Yeah, well,
It's supposed to be the one they do after the Turtle set early next year.
yeah,
Turtles is like January, so maybe
yeah,
January, February.
yeah. I think it's February.
So it'll be about a month or two after that. And then following that
We have
will be Batman Superman, which hopefully we might see that Batmobile pop up in there.
well, it's actually the DC World's Finest.
No, World's Finest.
Yeah, that's what it's called. World's Finest
Yeah,
is coming
makes
out,
sense.
and they have
But
pre-orders
basically, the
up.
Batman Superman set.
They have pre-orders already up, so go ahead and get those pre-orders in and get those boxes. Get a little discount, hopefully.
Thing I'm excited for World's Finest. I don't know why. For some reason, I've been on a Riddler kick. Never really a big fan of him until recently. Maybe it's the Gotham series. The guy's doing awesome.
Ever since
Edward Nigma, but
yeah.
especially for Dice Masters, if they make Riddler, I hope they don't mess it up. They have got to have some way where each version somehow interacts with question mark, the WoW faces.
Yeah, there's people have been making custom cards since the beginning of the game that were Riddler and involving question marks. So yeah. I think everybody would kind of be disappointed if they didn't do that.
I would love Riddler like his good version, whichever one that is. I would love it to where he's like a cheap mask character, and every time you roll a question mark, your opponent takes a damage or something. Or like he gets bonuses for question, or he has an ability where he can only spend question marks or something like that. That'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Anything that you want to look forward to in the next D&D set?
Some more good D&D stuff. You know, I've played a lot of D&D in the past. I haven't really played any 3.5, which I think is what they're going off of for these sets. I played a little bit of 4.0, but mostly a lot of 3.5. But I understand what's going on there. I'd like to just see some more good stuff. I mean, some of the things I was disappointed in with the original D&D set was like Tarask was supposed to be this big badass, and they made him too big. Nobody plays him. His effect just isn't really worth it. His global's kind of neat. But you know, outside of like Human Paladin and Red Dragon for the global, outside of global's really not a lot is getting seen. Kobold for Swarm, some of the Swarm characters. Umberhold pops up every once in a while. It's like the only character I can think of that's got a really solid ability.
Hopefully they actually make a lot more fiends this time, so the pet fiend can actually be useful. That'd be nice.
Maybe some more zombies.
Yeah.
Sort of the zombie card.
Vampires,
yeah. Maybe it's just some stuff that kind of you can really build around. Because I definitely like medieval fantasy theme. I play a lot of WoW, so part of me wants to, if we can ever get away with alternate art again, part of me wants to take some of the D&D cards and put like WoW images over them. So it'd be neat if they had a lot of D&D cards that you could translate into WoW too, maybe.
You want to talk about something that you were able to pick up?
Oh yeah. So there was an offer I saw. Oh, it's already out. Never mind. Where you could get basically it's a website. I think it's Art Cow, where you can order a playmat with a custom image, and there's a coupon code where you can get this for 99 cents, shipping included, flat 99 cents. The person that put up the coupon code on the Dice Masters forums group attached a link to this image to use, and I've got that posted online somewhere. I can find it and repost it with the coupon code. But yeah, this mat, it's got the zones on there, got some interesting artwork on the back, the life track at the bottom. $1.
Yeah,
just flat, like
that includes shipping and everything.
With the coupon code. And that expires at the end of this month, so I'll get that on there
10/30.
this video, and hopefully you all can take advantage of that. If you got some other small kind of mouse pad size image you all want to use, go for it. It doesn't have to be this specifically. If you just want a cool mouse pad with something on there, then that's a mouse pad.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and start doing wrapping it up here, and we got a couple more videos coming out for you. Probably by the end of today, which today is Sunday. We did an interview with our EJ did an interview with our local tournament organizer, and so we want to start doing more of that. We've got some people lined up. I've got Paul Roberts, winner of the Missouri Open, Missouri Dice Master Open, and we're gonna get him in a couple weeks, doing hopefully a live interview. If you got any questions for him, ask him. We're also going to try, I've been talking to Scott Hill, the rules master, so that'd be nice to get to know him a little bit more, see what he's got going on, and how he comes up with teams and all that, whatever. And then hopefully, I've been working out a little interview that I want to save for as a surprise that I think will definitely solidify our channel quite a bit.
It'll be pretty sweet if it works out.
Going to save that as a surprise. I mean, so keep tuning into the show. You'll find out hopefully by a month or two.
Another video I'm going to record here, probably in just a few moments, is going to be I've been talking about working on an introductory video to the game for newer players. Going to borrow one of my roommates who's kind of curious. I'm going to see if I can teach somebody who knows pretty much nothing about the game.
He knows there's dicing cards.
Yeah, so gonna teach a noob on camera how to play this game, and if try to show you guys as well, so that if people out there new to Dice Masters, definitely a lot of guides out there. There's like the watch and play videos and all that, but kind of want to break it down. Like me personally, it was really hard picking up on some of the nuances. So someone who struggled to kind of pick up the game themselves, kind of breaking it down and explaining it to somebody else, I feel like that should also be pretty helpful to newer players. Especially there are much better cards to get in the game with. A lot of the expensive ones kind of slowly being phased out. So definitely a good time to get in the game. So I want to get this video out there, get some people who don't understand what we're talking about to watch it and start playing the game. And more players equals more viewers too. So can't forget that.
Yeah. So until next time, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Nice seeing y'all.